everyone, welcome back. This video is the books that I plan to read in February. So every month I usually have about 10 books on the list of books that I want to read. 4 of them are physical books, 4 of them are ebooks, and 2 of them are audiobooks. And then there's usually an 11th, which is the one that I read for work. So first off, for work, the book I'm reading this month is The Psychopath Whisperer by Kent Keel. I know this has something to do with the guy that made the psychopath test. I think it was his protege or something, and he wanted to continue his work. So it should be really interesting. I probably work with some psychopaths, I think, if there is such a thing. So, but anyway, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be applicable to my job. Okay, first book is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Stormlight Archives. I've tried to avoid learning too much about this series because I don't want any spoilers. I know that it's a world where there's a lot of storms and that there's a lot of characters in the book and some great magical weapons and magical armor. And that's about all I know, and that's really about all I want to know going into it. Next is Blue Lily Blue. This is by Maggie Stiefvater. I probably said that wrong. This is book 3 in the Raven cycle. This is we follow our main character, Blue, who has been told that the first person that she kisses, or her true love that she kisses, will die. And then she meets the Raven boys, and she knows one of them is supposedly the person that she's supposed to kiss and is going to die. So I have to say, I read the first 2 books. Halfway through the first one, I wasn't going to continue, but then something happened that made it more interesting, and the second book was really interesting. So I'm hoping that the third book is really good too. The next one is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in the Farseer trilogy. And we follow a kid named Fitz, who I guess is a royal bastard. And he is forced to become an assassin. And it's another one of those that I've tried to avoid knowing too much about the series, because I want to find out by reading it. And then the last physical book that I plan to read is We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shiver. This story follows the mother of a boy who was involved in a mass killing at a school. I don't know that he used a gun, but I think he used like a crossbow or something like that. But again, it's not a whole lot, and I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that it's the mother's story, and it's supposedly like after the fact, and how she deals with her relationship with her son. Okay. So those are the 4 physical books I plan to read. The next ones are my ebooks. These are the ones I read on my Kindle. Okay, so the first one on my Kindle that I plan to read is The House in the Cerulean Sea. That is by T.J. Klune. I know that this is a fantasy story. I've heard it described as a nice warm hug for adults. So we'll see what it's like. I'm excited to see what it's like. The second ebook that I plan to read is The Dark Prophecy by Rick Riordan. This is the second book in the Trials of Apollo, and it follows the god Apollo, who's been cursed to be a teenage boy. And I have to say, I haven't finished the Percy Jackson series, and there are some major spoilers for Percy Jackson. So as I'm reading it, I'm learning things about Percy Jackson that I probably shouldn't know before I read Percy Jackson. But we're going to do it anyway. Okay, and then, the third book is Kings of Ash by Richard Nell, and this is the sequel to Kings of Paradise. It's the Ash and Sand trilogy. I enjoyed the first one and thought I'd just keep going on and finish the second one. We have I guess there's like two main characters. Kel, who is, finds out that he's I guess a great mage or a wizard or something. Anyway, he can do magic that no one else can do. And then Ruka, who is the monster, and he just is out for revenge because somebody killed his family and he's out to get everyone because of it. And the fourth one is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. The movie's real popular. I have heard that this is the one instance where the movie is actually better than the book, but I thought I would read the book anyway. So it's an adventure story, has some romance, miracles, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just interested to see how it goes. So I usually listen to 3 audiobooks. Like, I listen to 2, and then me and my kids listen to one together. So my audiobooks, the first one is Swan Song by Robert McCammon. This is a horror. It actually sounds a lot like The Stand. It's a post-apocalyptic story, but instead of like a virus wiping everyone out, it was a nuclear war. And there's some kind of demon involved who's trying to kill somebody that's, I guess, special. I don't know. That's about all I know about it. Okay, the second audiobook that I'll be listening to is Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is adult sci-fi. It's got aliens. It's traveling the universe. And I've heard it's pretty good, but I really don't know a lot about it. Again, I like to avoid spoilers going into books because I like to learn what they're about for myself. All right, and then the one that me and my kids are listening together is called Exile. It's the second book in the Keepers of the Lost Cities series. It is by Shannon Messenger. And it's about a girl who finds out she's an elf. She thought that, she was a freak because she could read minds and everything, and then found out she was an elf. But apparently she's even special as an elf. So I'm interested to see what happens to her next. Alright, so that's all the books that I plan to read in February. I'm excited about those, excited to see how they go. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.